Hello and welcome to beautiful Goffstown, New Hampshire, the site of the Glen Lake Swim, the search for Glennie. Participants will be racing 1 mile around the lake, and they may just bump into Glennie, the mythical creature that inhabits Glen Lake. You can see there, she's not photo shy. I'm Adam McCune. I'm your host for today's race, along with Goffstown television coordinator. We've got quite a few participants, but first, a blessing of the water.
Don't eat them, don't bite them, don't tickle them. Be nice to them. Let them have a good swim today. And no cheating. Don't hold anybody back.
That's Chief Paul Pouliot of the Kawasuk Band of Pennacook Abenaki people.
2, 1.
And they're off! The first swimmers in the first ever Glen Lake Swim. 3 different heats will be going out onto the water today, as they're all going to be going out. About 100 people overall participating in today's race. You can kind of see them spread out just a little bit as we're going to have our front runners pull away. They'll get into that kind of goose V formation out into the water. Of course, with Glennie, the Glen Lake monster. It's been a few months in the making for this race. Quite an effort for volunteers and everybody organizing this. Really kind of cool to see this come together. Weather today in the 60s and 70s as we're heading out into the water. We've had a stretch of extremely hot, very humid days, and it's kind of warmed up the water a little bit, so the temperature of the air, temperature of the water, about the same. We're expecting some fantastic times and no problems out there on the water today, as it's going to be a beautiful day to head out onto the lake. You can see our aerial shot there provided by our volunteer drone footage. A little bit of those overcast conditions, maybe even some fog there off in the distance. Also, you can see some of the buoys and some of the kayakers that are out there as volunteers as we head back to the shore for some more from the Pennacook Abenaki people. Very cool. Lots of little elements that are out there that are kind of exciting to see and neat to see as part of this event. Having the blessing and having the drummers there, really kind of cool, neat little touches here for this race. Really fantastic event. Hoping to see this every year as we see more and more out there, as now you can really see that they are spreading out, and as they make their way out onto the course, again, 1 mile as they go out all through the buoys. The second heat is taking their place as we talk a little bit more about the course and what the swimmers are up against for today out on that course. As you can see a shot there of Glennie. That one was provided by one of the people that lives on the lake. Here is the course as swimmers will be keeping the buoys to their left, kind of hugging that shoreline as they make their way underneath the power lines, and then make 2 90-degree turns. Those might be the hardest part about this. They're making their way around those buoys. They're manned by people on kayaks, so the volunteers are kind of helping the swimmers get around the course. You can see one of those big red buoys, and they make that turn. There's 2 turns actually to kind of go around to make the turn back, and that big straightaway is against the current as the second heat is ready to go. And you can see some of those personal flotation devices. We're going to have the results, full results, coming at the end of our presentation of today's race. What a fantastic event. In fact, we're already seeing our front runners make their way around that 90-degree turn, those 2 90-degree turns. And that is racer number 1, Michael Girardi of Bedford, as he makes his way, the first racer to make that turn. We'll see if that corresponds into a first place finish for him as well, but you can see excellent form, just making his way out there, getting his breathing down, has that rhythm, and he is making excellent time as he makes his way around the course. Coming up on that second buoy, so those 90-degree turns in open water, a little more difficult than maybe you might give them credit for. It is pretty hard to do, and Glen Lake does get pretty deep pretty quick, so there's not really a floor to go against, if you know what I mean. This is all swimming. So his second 90-degree turn is about to happen as we see our second place finisher right now, at least in second place of the first heat. That's Tracy Grilli, as she's from Londonderry. And again, excellent form, just a little bit behind the front runner as she makes her way towards the second of those buoys to make the second 90-degree turn into that straightaway. Fighting a slight current, as you know, Glen Lake is set up on the river, so there is a little bit of a pull that way, which makes it a little harder as you make it towards the final part for the finish line. Let's take a peek underwater as we see the pack coming through. Oh, there she is. That's Glennie. Don't let the teeth scare you. She is a friendly lake monster. As the pack comes through now of the first racers out there. And a little bit about the safety of today's course. You see some of the firefighters on the shore. There's a few fireboats out there. They also have the state police out there. Just in case there's some safety, we also have a lot of volunteer kayakers out on the water, along with a pontoon boat and lifeguards. There's one of the lifeguards there. They're stationed throughout the course. And if you can see kind of down by the dam off in the distance, that pontoon boat is actually with a referee, a lifeguard, and just kind of making sure that people make that turn properly so that they're not going to go over the dam. As we see Michael Girardi, he is actually making his way. It looks like he might be our first place finisher as he is now into the home stretch, trying to take first place here. See if he gets that through the other two heats. A little bit of applause there from the crowd on the shore. Coming in, Michael Girardi, making his way on shore, and with a time of 24:26. He is our first finisher. Let's see if that score is going to hold up. He's done very good here. That's a fast time. Following close behind is Tracy Grilli. We saw both of them kind of make their way around those 90-degree turns from Londonderry as she makes her way towards the shore. Again, making excellent time. As she makes her way, her time will be 26:33, an excellent time out there. Fantastic finish there, the first two finishers. By the way, the top two scores actually without the wetsuit. As we see the rest of the crowd now starting to make their way to shore. That's going to end it for our production here on Goffstown Television. We're going to watch as more of the swimmers come in and give you a nice little scroll on the bottom of all of the finishers and their times. Just want to thank everybody for watching, and thanks for taking this in. What a fantastic day. The first annual Glen Lake Swim is in the books with Goffstown Television.
Sorry, thank you. Take that, Glennie! Nice swim.